Hello, welcome to episode 37 of the Islanders podcast. My name is James.
And my name is Daniel.
And my name's Yen.
And today we have a special topic about Taiwan. Well, in this episode, we are going to introduce legendary product in Taiwan. Mm-hmm. This product created the first economic miracle in Taiwan and even reshaped the political and economic development in early Taiwan. Therefore, it's never to exaggerate to state that this product determined the history of Taiwan, while in modern day still play an important role in people's daily life. So, guess what it is?
Do you have any hints?
Well, it's a kind of plant.
Okay.
A crop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Banana?
Banana? No.
Any more hints?
Well,
what do we do with it?
We eat it or we...
Normally, we will not chew this. We will not eat this plant directly.
Okay.
We will use
tobacco.
Tobacco. It's a little bit closer. We will use is leaves.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Yan?
Use its leaves.
I was thinking about another one, but since you said leaves, I ruled that out.
Maybe that's the one.
So
maybe
what about
kind of herb or
yes, this
mince or something?
Kind of herb. So what's
okay? So what it is?
Okay. It's tea. Okay.
Oh, tea.
Yeah.
That's definitely an iconic plant of Taiwan. Yeah.
Definitely what we were thinking about.
Yes. Okay. Today we are going to introduce our national drinks, which is tea, and the history and its modern trend, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
So, in Chinese culture, we will consider firewood, rice, oil, salt, sauce, vinegar, and tea as daily necessities.
Yes, just as tradition.
Yes. So, indeed, you can nearly buy teas from everywhere you can imagine, such as iconic black tea sold in breakfast store, right?
Yeah, everyone should get some black tea or maybe even milk tea in breakfast shops.
And various bottled tea in convenience store.
Yeah.
Actually, nearly in every convenience store, you will find the whole refrigerator with all kinds of teas.
Sweet teas or fruit teas or anything like that.
Mostly sweet. I'm just grabbing one bottle here right now.
And the most famous bubble teas in all kinds of drink shops and so on. So, how does tea become so important to Taiwanese? Let's start with the origin of Taiwanese tea. Okay. So now we are going to enter the history part.
Okay.
Let's start from Qing Dynasty.
Qing Dynasty. So it's actually a period of time that Taiwan is actually ruled by the regime from mainland China, right?
Yes. At that time is ruled by Qing Dynasty.
Okay.
It's nearly about 150 years ago.
Wow, long time ago.
So after the Second Opium War in 1860, foreign merchants were allowed to trade in China. Before the war, they are forbidden to enter China. And
the country was under lockdown, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Just as
much like today.
Yes.
So please continue.
At that time, a British merchant, who is John Dart, discovered that the terrain and climate of hill in North Taiwan was a perfect location to plant tea trees.
Okay.
So he imported some tea trees from South China and successfully made a fortune.
So tea trees are not actually the original plants from Taiwan.
Well, no, actually, in Taiwan we have wild tree tea, but normally the tea we drink today are actually
from another kind of plant.
Originate from South China.
Yeah. Nobody knew how to plant like a lot of teas in Taiwan.
The agricultural technologies.
So, at that time,
agricultural standpoint, they brought that inside.
At that time, rice and sugar was the major product in Taiwan.
Major export.
Major exports. So John Dart successfully sells his tea in the name of Formosa Oolong tea.
Okay. Actually, this is quite interesting because I didn't know that it was actually a foreigner who started growing tea here in Taiwan.
Yes, I didn't know that before doing research.
Okay.
So after that, some Chinese people also want to share these fortunes.
Okay.
So lots of Chinese people follow John Dot and develop lots of tea plants on the hill.
Okay, so there's different kinds of teas. They're actually developing at that time.
Yes. So at that time, three major export products were tea, camphor, and sugar.
Okay.
Tea and camphor actually grow in North Taiwan, while sugar grows in South
in South Taiwan, right?
In South Taiwan.
With all the sugar canes, like we talked about last week.
Yes.
Yeah. And camphor, do you want to talk about what camphor is?
Well, camphor is a
kind of oil from trees, or like some sap.
It's actually like a crystal which is extracted from a tree.
Oh, okay. So
kind of tree.
Maybe the sap crystals from the tree.
Yes.
And then we use them for for
like,
at that time, because at that time camphor is quite versatile. It can be used to produce plastic.
Oh yeah,
plastic.
Okay.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sometimes for medicine, right?
Yes,
for medicine, and also like for your essential oils, or like treating like mosquitoes or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's versatile.
So these three products, tea, camphor, and sugar.
Yes.
And you said tea is the one that was most important and created the most value.
Yeah.
Yes. We all know that from our from history book in junior high school.
Yeah.
So after that, the tea become more and more important to Taiwan's economic. So finally, the tea industry facilitates the development of North Taiwan. And in late 19th century, Taipei, which is our current capital city, became the economic and political center in Taiwan.
Yeah.
While the original political and economic center was Tainan.
Southern Taiwan, right?
Yes.
The capital of sugar, right?
Yeah, capital of sugar.
Like transforming into the north.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could almost say that tea actually built our capital today. Sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll talk about it later in your story.
Yes. Actually, I consider this phenomenon was quite unique because throughout history, no such product can
actually shape the political,
economical
landscape. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm going to share a short story.
Yeah. Okay.
In Taiwan, actually, in Hsinchu.
Oh, in Hsinchu.
In Hsinchu, we have a famous tea, which is Oriental Beauty Tea.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's from like Emei or some Baoshan district.
Yes, it's actually a type of oolong with rich flavor of fruit, flower, and honey.
So what is special of this kind of tea?
The interesting thing about this tea is its name.
Its name, okay.
Yes.
Oriental Beauty.
Yes.
Yeah.
This name, the rumor has it that this name is actually given by British Queen.
British Queen?
Yes.
Wow.
Really?
Victoria.
Okay. Well, never heard about that.
So Queen Victoria really liked this kind of tea.
Yes, I heard that it was so amazed by the fragrance of the tea.
It almost sounds like some merchants. They will,
they
will marketing like their product
like
as
a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I think that this might be true,
plausible.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Yes. So this tea becomes so famous.
Okay. So I think it shows how popular Taiwan tea was at that time, right?
Yes.
All across the world. Okay.
And even British.
At that time, Taiwanese tea dominate world market.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool. Taiwanese. Great.
So after the Qing dynasty, Taiwan entered Japan colonial period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just got sold off to Japan.
Yeah.
Just like that. Literally sold out to Japan.
So what did Japanese do to the tea industry?
Have you ever think of these questions? Why do British only drink black tea?
But British only drink black tea.
Yes.
Okay.
They only drink black tea for afternoon tea, right?
Yeah. Mostly.
Yes. There has a story behind this.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes. is the rumor has it that some British merchant find out that some Chinese merchant will add some coloring into the tea, the oolong tea, which is to make the color of the green of the tea more beautiful.
More beautiful, okay.
Yeah, so they were shocked, and they decided not to drink oolong tea anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is that poison or something?
Yes, it's like a cyanide.
Cyanide?
It's a
really?
chemical. It's a chemical.
It's kind of chemical?
Harmful to people's body.
Oh, really? So you're telling me that never don't drink oolong tea or...
That's why they only drink black tea. They are afraid of being poisoned by this chemical.
Okay.
So Japanese... So to fulfill the need of afternoon tea in Western culture, so Japanese people, they try to develop their own black tea.
Okay.
So black tea gained popularity in Taiwan. So at that time, Japanese have their own brand, which is Nippon tea. They try to compete with Lipton.
Lipton, yeah.
So Lipton is
Nito.
English.
Yes, from British.
Okay, I know.
So
Nito is from Japan.
Japanese. Okay.
So Japanese wanted to sell their tea to England, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they took Taiwan tea and
to sell
marketed
those
it as
teas.
their own.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think British people at that time, maybe in Taiwan, are very angry about that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, what do you want to talk about next?
So thanks to the flourishing tea industry in North Taiwan, Dadaochen, which we had introduced in previous episodes.
Which is
actually
my hometown.
a lot of episodes that we talked about it. It's an old part of Taipei.
It's my hometown.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is actually a New Year's goods avenue nowadays.
Yeah.
So Dadaochen become the business center of Taipei.
Yeah.
And even though the tea industry is no longer the major industry in Taiwan, but you still can find numerous historical tea shops and tea houses in Dadaochen.
Yeah. Just around my junior high school, there's kind of about like 10 or 20 of tea shops. A lot of them. And most of them, you can go to the tea houses and just order some tea or just buy some tea. Just buy some teas for present or your own drinking or something like that. Yeah, it's quite still very popular at this moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so after Japanese colonial period, actually China took us back again.
So here comes the KMT government back to Taiwan again. Yeah,
you know.
So now, so after Japanese colonial period, Taiwan was ruled by KMT government. And due to the high cost of Taiwanese tea, because the cost of human labor becomes more and more expensive in Taiwan, so Taiwanese tea cannot compete with those cheap teas from other countries.
Yeah.
So Taiwanese tea was gradually replaced by those cheap teas. But fortunately, in 1980s, our national income grew rapidly, so Taiwanese people had more money to spend on leisure activity, so tea became more popular. So the domestic needs of tea increased dramatically at that time.
So we didn't export as much, but we sold a lot of
ourselves
in Taiwan, nationally.
Yeah, I think in the generation of my fathers or grandparents, they drink tea, drink it a lot, like every day, in everyday manners.
So before this period, Taiwanese tea was mostly exported to foreign country.
Yeah.
But at that time, domestic tea was a major
source of Taiwanese tea.
So how about today? Is today still this kind of economical landscape?
Well, actually, this trend. So in nowadays, Taiwanese tea was mostly bought by Taiwanese people.
Still bought by Taiwanese people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So nowadays we have all kinds of tea shops.
Yeah. around the streets. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, not only tea shops, a lot of the older people in Taiwan, or maybe, they have their own tea sets.
Yeah.
They have their own trays and their little teapots.
Yeah, my grandpa and my father own tea
and
tea trays.
they have a lot of like little cups, and then there is a certain kind of
it's a
procedure.
whole set. Yeah.
Certain kind of procedure, like how you drink tea in Taiwan, right? It's very much a social activity.
Well, it's actually called Kung Fu tea, Kung Fu cha.
Yeah. Kung Fu tea. Yeah. Yes. Actually, it's the Kung Fu tea.
Because in Chinese, we say something is very Kung Fu, means that this thing requires lots of effort to do it.
Yeah. I think this name comes from, I've heard that this name comes from Taiwanese. It's from Gong Hu Dei. Yeah,
yes.
so the name is actually names this activity, social activity of drinking tea.
Because brewing this kind of tea require lots of skill
and experience,
effort.
Yeah,
and that's why the younger people are harder to get into this kind of culture.
Getting more lazy about it.
It requires a lot of preparation, a lot of experience, and sometimes it's hard for us to
just want something to drink,
get into it.
Yeah.
Also, we don't have the time.
Yeah,
that is the problem.
So some tea houses to fulfill the needs of young generation, so they develop their own special drink teas.
Yeah.
Like various fruit tea.
Bubble tea.
Yes, bubble tea also rise from that side.
Yeah. So actually, I've heard about Taiwan, like in our father or our father and our mother's generation, when they're young, like in their 20s or 30s, they're actually a kind of shop like most similar like coffee shop at this time and now, and they call black bubble tea shop.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're just like going to coffee shop. They go to bubble tea shop and they have some tea and chat with each other and maybe have some sweet or ice, and it's kind of like a social activities in their daily life. If I heard about that period.
Nowadays we just go to
Starbucks. Yeah, or other coffee shops.
So I think actually we should maybe we should go back to drinking some Taiwanese tea, local tea or like these local sweets.
Yeah. Yes,
it's just trend. Yeah,
and now we all know that bubble milk tea went viral around the globe.
Went viral around the globe.
Yeah.
Yes.
When virus around the globe.
Yeah,
it just doesn't hear it.
Is something else.
Yeah,
a bit sensitive. Yeah,
it is sensitive.
Yeah,
and spread to other countries and continents.
Yeah,
like Japan, China, and even you can buy bubble teas in France.
In Europe, in America also. Yeah.
Yes.
Bubble tea so famous. Yeah.
It's actually quite cool.
I heard that the price of bubble tea sold in European is much expensive.
Yeah, I think it's much more difficult to source the materials.
Yeah. Maybe like also the labor bubble tea, is more expensive. Yeah.
But it's really hard to imagine. Maybe in 10 years ago, it's really hard to imagine we can buy bubble teas in other countries.
Definitely.
Because it was so local, so common to Taiwanese people.
Yeah.
So is there any other things about teas you want to share to us?
So now I want to share some tea tips.
You are actually kind of a tea
maniac.
Yes.
Connoisseur.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I actually drink about 1 to 1.5 liters of tea a day.
Yeah. Well, that's very much.
Yeah.
Yes. Whenever I got time, I drink tea.
So you're not getting too much caffeine from those teas.
Well, I think
it's okay for you.
It's okay.
Okay.
Those caffeine do not affect my sleeping quality.
That's great.
So I will try to give you a brief introduction about tea production.
Oh, production. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
So it all starts from tea leaves, right?
Yeah. Definitely
from
leaves
trees. From tea trees.
Yeah.
So picking high quality tea leaves is actually quite essential.
I've heard that it is a kind of a skill or technique for tea farmers. Yeah.
Yes. Normally they will pick different parts of tea leaves to give different taste.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And normally they will try to pick 2 leaves with a bud. In Taiwan, we will say 一心二叶.
Yeah, I've heard that.
2 leaves with a bud.
In those commercials.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's quite cool. Actually, I've actually watched see some farmers that get to to picking different tea leaves, and actually that process is quite tiring, I'll say. But they put a lot of effort on that. Yeah.
Yes, for Oriental beauty tea, they only pick up the bud, which is beaten by a kind of bird. So you may have to pick more than 3,000 or 4,000 buds to make several grams of tea.
And they're picked by hand, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the price of Oriental beauty tea was so expensive.
Yeah, definitely.
It also shrinks a lot after you pick it, right?
Yes.
From, getting your tea leaves to actually drinking it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It shrinks a lot in weight.
Yes. After picking tea leaves, we actually have to dry our tea leaves.
Yeah.
Yes. And after drying process, we have this tea leaf will undergo fermentation process.
Okay, fermentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say this process actually determine the category of tea.
Yeah.
And the color, right?
Color,
yes.
Color.
For green tea, they are non-fermented at all. But for black tea,
they're like deep fermented,
fully fermented.
Or fully fermented, yeah.
And oolong is like
in the middle.
right?
Yes, middle level of fermentation. And after fermentation, we will baking our tea, just like we baking our coffee beans.
Oh, coffee beans, yeah.
Yes. So fermentation and baking actually decide the flavor
of the
and the mouthfeel of tea.
So actually, after baking, they turn into like little buds, right?
Yeah.
Little small buds, right?
Well,
and they're put together.
Actually, not necessarily. Normally, we have two shapes. For tea leaves, we have two shapes. One is like a little stripe.
Okay.
And another one is a little ball.
Little buds, right?
Little
buds, yeah. So which kind do you like better? Do you like a heavy fermented or do you like a light fermented?
Well, my favorite is a tea which is called 铁观音 in Chinese.
Yeah, I love that one very much as well.
Yeah, some drink shop may call it Iron Buddha.
Iron Buddha.
Yes.
So what kind is it?
It's it's heavily fermented and baked oolong tea. That is my favorite.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well, another kind of tea I love very much is called deep baked oolong tea.
Oh.
Yeah, and those kind of tea are made into little buds. And actually, I'm very, very into the process that when I pour in hot water into the teapot, into the glass teapot, and I can see the little buds like growing, spreading out into a whole leaf. The process is quite comforting for me. Yeah, so yeah, that kind of tea is also deep baked and deep fermented and fully fermented. Yes. Yeah, and I think the taste of this is very, very well. Yeah, I love that one too. Yeah.
So how about you, James?
I don't really drink tea.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Taste, yeah. Okay.
So I think black tea.
So how about daily teas? Just like drinks, mostly tea drinks.
I really wouldn't call what I drink tea.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not big into this part of Taiwan culture. But I did grow up with family members that drank tea a lot.
Really? Yeah.
Like with the tea trays and all that. And it was really fun, watching them drink tea. But when I was little, I
it's just like a ritual.
So you never joined them.
When I was very little at the time, and I couldn't really understand the tea, And elderly people, they try to protect you from tea when you're little, when you're small, because they think the caffeine may be bad for you or something like that.
Yeah. I've heard of that.
Which is not. I don't think it's
actually
true. But Taiwanese parents are very protective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like my grandpa, he drink tea a lot, and he play chess and drink tea with his friends and neighbors together. And when I was little and I get around them, and I wanted to have some tea, he would just stop me. Yeah.
I remember they would give me like a lighter version. Like they would add more hot water.
Into it. Yeah.
And what I remember most from the process is to rinse the kettle before they drink tea from it.
Yes, before brewing teas, you have to use hot water to rinse all utensils and cups and pots.
Yeah, and also when they first brew the tea, the first time they brew it, they don't drink it.
Yeah, they're exposed.
Because they think like they have to wash like the debris or like you know, something on the tea.
Cleaning the tea.
Which was quite cool.
So I want to ask, where do you get tea you drink?
For me, because I live in Dadaoteng, it's just at the tea shop everywhere, and there's one of them is just beside my house, and I just go grab some when I go back home.
So you will brewing your own tea
sometimes, but now in summer brewing teas are, I think it's so warm, so hot in Taiwan. So maybe I do them mostly in winter, or from now I'll brew some tea and put it into the fridge and drink it cool. Yeah.
I'm more of a coffee person.
For coffee, yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all the time we have for today.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see you on Saturday with the next topic.
Okay.
So see you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.